right, first I just want to say welcome everyone to D&D Newbie Sessions. My name's Sam, and I'm going to be, this is just, like I mentioned, a shorter presentation covering some of the basics about our community. Okay. Well, first thing I want to do is just say welcome to all the new people that might be joining the community and watching the stream or maybe the YouTube video later. Thanks for joining the community. We're happy to have you here. Welcome back to any people that have been around for a while. First up, I just want to say that our community is here first and foremost to run free newbie-friendly D&D games and events for the community. We know that it can be hard to find games and get into them and stuff, so we're trying to create a space here where there's regular games running. They're all for brand new people, so you have a chance to see what this is all about and get exposure to it and learn things. We also are a really kind of open community. We actually, we encourage people from all sorts of different backgrounds to join us. So you don't have to be a gamer. You don't have to have tabletop background. We're really open to everyone to come and play and learn with us. In fact, many of the games that I've run, I'm coming up, I think, on about almost 200 newbie sessions at this point, and a huge proportion of the players who have played are completely brand new. They have no background. At best, maybe they've watched Critical Role, but nothing else. And some people, they haven't even watched, podcasts or anything like that. So if that's you and you're nervous about it or anything, don't worry, you're in good company. Ultimately, we are here to help support you on your journey. So if, like I said, if you're worried about knowing the rules or anything like that, we're here to kind of support you along that journey, kind of step by step. So maybe you're just here to, ask a question, get an answer. Maybe we can run your very first D&D game. Maybe you want to become a dungeon master, anything like that. We're here to help you. Also really important in our community is that we value things like positivity, friendliness, respect, being really welcoming of people, not judging them if they don't know the rules or don't have a tabletop background and don't really understand concepts or something. That's, we're here to be open, welcoming, positive, all those sorts of traits. And then lastly, we are an adult-oriented community. All of the official events are 18 years and older. However, we do allow youth players to join the server, hang out with us. They can watch streams like this. And some of the community events, like community games, are actually for younger players, and you're welcome to join those if you'd like. But just know that overall, we are kind of an adult-oriented community. All right, some terms you'll likely encounter as you explore our community or D&D abroad. Now, this is not comprehensive. This is just a few of the basics to get you started. You'll see many more acronyms and things, but starting at the top here, we've got 5E, which is 5th edition. You might see that number swapped out, 4E, 4th edition, or 3.5. This is ultimately just referring to the edition or version of Dungeons & Dragons. DM, Dungeon Master, GM, Game Master, those are used kind of interchangeably or synonymously. It's the person that's hosting the game and running it for you. Homebrew is unofficial content, so that's contrasted by officially published content, maybe a custom world that their DM is running your game in. House rule is an unofficial rule. Some DMs like to have house rules because they think it makes their game more fun, more interesting. So they have what they call a house rule, but it's not an official rule that you'll find in the book. LFG is looking for a group, which you'll see in the Discord server. 1D&D is the code name for the next version of D&D that's slated to be released in a year or two. TTRPG is tabletop role-playing game or games. VC you might see pop up here and there in Discord. That's referring to voice channels or voice chat. And then lastly, VTT is virtual tabletop. Virtual tabletops are the things that power a lot of our online game worlds. Things like Roll20, Foundry, Fantasy Grounds, Tableplop, things like that. All right, so most of you are probably watching this because you're wondering about how do I find a game or get into an event. So there's numerous different things you can check out. One of the main channels in Discord is the Post Your Game channel. This channel is for dungeon masters to post open games and try to find players for it. So that's one of the best places that you can check. We also have the Looking for Group, or LFG channels. Those are also kind of the same purpose, except they're centered more around discussion. So if you want to try and talk with people, form a group, track down a DM together, maybe talk about hosting an in-person game or something like that, you can use those channels as well. And then lastly, for official events like this stream, or the upcoming seasonal game days and stuff like that, you can check the Upcoming Events channel. There's also Discord events, which pop up in the top left corner, which you can click on, although anything posted in there gets also posted to the Upcoming Events channel. We also have 12 meetup groups that are kind of evenly spread throughout the US. Meetup's another great place where you can check for events, although typically what's posted in there is also posted in Discord. So if you're in Discord, you're already kind of covered. However, some of the groups, particularly the Denver meetup group, is hosting in-person D&D meetups really frequently. So if you're looking for some in-person stuff, particularly in Denver, you could check that one out. And then if you ever want to host something and meet up yourself, like try to put together a group or something, you can reach out to me and I can increase your permission so you can become an event organizer and create meetup events of your own. If you're looking for something to do in the meantime while you're looking for a game, I'd recommend heading over to dndbeyond.com, and you can create an account and then create a character, and their character creation tool walks you through the entire process step by step with helper text. So it can give you some great exposure to creating a character, learning about all the different options, what they mean, and then when you get to the end, and you have your character sheet in front of you, you can even click on virtually everything you see on the screen and it will open up a panel and you can read more details about like, what is this skill check, or what is this inventory item I have, or how do I cast this spell? It explains it all there and it'll give you a lot of great fundamental understanding about D&D. I already briefly kind of mentioned seasonal game days, but basically what these are is a big get-together on a Saturday. We've been doing a winter, spring, summer, and autumn game days. It's a Saturday where we get a bunch of people together, a bunch of DMs and players. We host, I think, typically had around 15 to 20 games being run for around about 100 players. So it gives a lot of opportunity for people to join and play. So if you've been having trouble finding a game, I would definitely tune into one of those. You can find all the details. They'll be posted on Meetup, and then they'll be posted in Discord. We'll ping people to make sure everyone's aware that they're going on. Please also remember, if you do get into a game, please be courteous and respectful to the other players and the dungeon master. We're all here together to, learn and have fun together. So we want it to be, enjoyable for everybody. And also remember to, share the spotlight. Everyone that joins a game should have a chance to participate, share their, have their voice come out in the game. So please remember that. And then lastly, I wanted to just make a quick distinction between official events and community events. Official events, like I mentioned, will be posted to places like Upcoming Events. It's things like the seasonal game days where our entire organization is kind of involved in hosting it. It's just official, and that's kind of the best way to put it. That's contrasted by community events, which is basically everything else. So if there are DMs in the community that volunteer to host a game or an event or something like that, that qualifies as what we would consider a community event. They're hosting it on their own. We don't necessarily have anything to do with it, but everything in our community is, geared towards newbie-friendly, games and events. Some of you might also be interested in hosting your own games and events. So first off, our community really thrives on people that take initiative and volunteer their time to give back to the community. Whether that's formal, like you reach out to us, we schedule the event, it's one of those official events, we help promote it and all that sort of stuff, or informal, you just do it on your own. You join a voice channel, you hang out with people, help answer questions, you decide to host an event and talk about some cool topic you want to cover. our community really thrives on that, and it's really designed to be open so people can do that on their own. But we are here to help. So if you want support, like either just assistance, like figuring things out, or you want us to help spread the word and promote it so people know about it, we're here for you. So just reach out and let us know. We also do DM mentorships. We have a channel called Request a Mentor. So if you're looking for a mentorship, you can go to that channel. This is primarily geared towards Dungeon Masters. And you can request a mentor, and someone on our team will reach out and work with you one-on-one to learn the game and all that, all the things that you might need to know. And if you're an experienced Dungeon Master and you want to help people in that way, simply reach out to us, and we'll ask you a few basic questions, make sure you're a good fit and everything, and then we can give you the mentor role, and then you can start to help people, share your wisdom with the community, and give back to people. You can also become an organizer, an official organizer. The best way to do that is to simply host an event. Get it scheduled, host it, show up, run it for people, and then we can give you the organizer role. Basically, everyone you see that's blue in the server are those people. They're the people taking initiative, volunteering their time, and either running a special event, hosting a game, whatever it is. Becoming an organizer gives you access to the private organizer channel, where we collaborate, coordinate on events, stuff like that. As I mentioned, you can do even little things like jump in a voice channel, post in general chat, you're hanging out, happy to answer questions. Little things like that is what makes the community great and helps a lot of people learn. As mentioned before, don't forget about Meetup. If you want to host particularly an in-person event, Meetup is an excellent place to do it. They have a really awesome user base that is, people looking to have fun and meet new people, and it can be a great way to meet new friends in your community. So if you go to the page on our website, see what meetup groups we have, and one of them works for you, again, just reach out and I can get you set up to to have permissions to do event organizer roles. Please remember, we don't allow pay-to-play games and events in our server, so if you are going to host something, it does need to be free. That's because this is an educational server, and we don't want to lock, the ability for people to learn behind a paywall. So everything does need to be free. And then lastly, if you scroll down in Discord, we have a DM profiles channel. If you're a Dungeon Master, feel free to go in there and post your profile. It's a great way for people to get to know you in the community. Who are you? What kind of style do you have? You can share your social media links, maybe a link to a game you've run on, that you posted to YouTube or something. That channel is open for Dungeon Masters to post in. And we also have started a DM Spotlight video. And this credit goes to Bluebird, who took the initiative on this one. The first video has been posted with Star, and it's super fun. It's just like a great way to get one of the DMs in the community on camera, talking about themselves. It's just a great way to connect and get to know people in our community. So if that sounds like something that interests you, again, post your profile. We'll track you down and see if that's something you want to do. All right. Just briefly here, if you're new to Discord, Discord is a chat application, but it's really like a community application at this point. It's got all sorts of features, and it's where our community truly lives. But the main, if you're new to it and you don't really fully understand it, you can really boil it down to a chat application. It has text channels for text chat and voice channels for voice, video, screen sharing. You can also do things like share files, but ultimately it's a great place for us to hang out, chat, get to know each other, jump in conversations. You can use the forums if you want to post a more persistent, threaded kind of a chat. You can share resources, news, join in the polls, all sorts of stuff like that. So just click around, explore, make yourself at home. Unfortunately, with any online platform, we do have some bad actors that join the server. So if you do end up having an issue, like an unsolicited message, someone spamming you, sending you something a little strange, particularly if they're asking for private information and stuff, please let us know. Message one of the moderators. There's also the server support channel. Let us know, and we can take care of it. Don't forget to take a screenshot though, because we do strive for always having evidence of what happened so we don't accidentally like ban an innocent person or something. So screenshots are really important. And then if you do have an issue that's more sensitive, there's a Google form in the rules channel that it's at the very bottom. If you click on that, you can submit feedback anonymously, or you can submit like with your username, but it only goes to myself and the other two admins, Ducks and Cat. So if it's something that's like you just feel like it's really sensitive, you don't want like to be broadly known or something, that's an alternative way that you could report an issue. If you do get into a game, I highly recommend you test your hardware before game night, as much as it seems like, as it always seems like it works, and then until game night, and then Discord does some weird quirky thing and your mic no longer works. So if you have game night coming up, I definitely recommend jumping into Discord. We have a channel dedicated to test mic and webcam, so you can go in there, test your video, test your microphone, stuff like that, make sure it's working. We also have a gamer role, so if you're a video game player and you want to join us or propose like some game night or something, feel free. We've got a channel dedicated to it. We've done some fun co-op games in the past, like Among Us, Jackbox games, Valheim, Deep Rock Galactic, Phasmophobia. Right now we are playing MMO called New World. But yeah, if that interests you, that's another great way to connect, have some fun, meet some new people. So feel free to jump on in. Don't forget about the Assign a Role channel. Make sure you can get a role, because that does help with getting notified about things. For instance, we had a free giveaway recently for Dungeon Masters that specifically went out to the Dungeon Master roles. The Looking for Group role is a great one if you want to get pinged about things like some new event or some new big game that opened. We'll ping that role. If you're a creator, YouTuber, artist, anything like that, we have a Share Your Work channel. Feel free to post in there. That's exactly what that channel's for. We love helping promote people in the D&D community, get the word out. So whatever it is, if you're an artist and you're trying to here's my art, and hey, by the way, I also do commissions. If you want to have some art for your campaign or something, you can post that in there. If it's a little bigger, it's good to ask permission just in case, but generally that is open. Or if you're looking for like a more formal partnership, you can reach out to me and we can start a conversation. That could give you access to post in the partners channel, so it's a little more persistent. And just generally, if you want a shout out on live streams like this, or the community bulletin videos that I've been doing, or the email newsletter, anything like that, just reach out. I love giving shout outs, so happy to do it. And then lastly, there's a suggestion box, again, at the bottom of Discord. So if you have any thoughts about, hey, you guys should do this, or stop doing this, or change this, whatever it is, you can post that in there. I read everything that goes in there, although I will admit that sometimes it does take me a while to get to them. And I can't guarantee that your suggestion will be used, but I promise that it will be read and considered. All right. If you like what we do here in the community and you want to support us, there's a few different ways you can do that. First up, you could just follow us on social media, particularly Twitch and YouTube. I think those are kind of the two main ones that I use when I'm broadcasting stuff or whatever. We do have a Twitter. I think technically there's a Facebook and Instagram and stuff. I don't use those quite as much. You can still follow them if you want. I do post on there about big things like the seasonal game days and whatnot. But Twitch and YouTube's great. So follow us, subscribe to us, whatever. We also have an email newsletter. So if you want to sign up for that, I promise we do not spam. I actually only send out email newsletters every once in a while when we've sort of accumulated enough that's worthy for an announcement. For instance, I'm going to be posting a newsletter probably within the next week here about the upcoming Winter Game Day, some of the new videos we've done, stuff like that. But then the next newsletter probably won't be for at least 2 or 3 months. So, but yeah, great way to stay in touch. And then lastly, if you can become a supporter by boosting the Discord server, which actually benefits everyone because it gives us more features and stuff. Or you can do a donation. So there's a few different ways. Right now there's a Patreon and a Buy Me a Coffee. And I'm kind of experimenting right now with the new Discord subscriptions feature. And if you're wondering like where does that money go, it all goes towards helping offset my expenses running the community. The truth is that there are costs associated with this, things like Discord Nitro, Meetup, tools that I use to put all this stuff together, to run games, all that sort of stuff, and it does add up every month. So people have actually jumped onto Patreon, Buy Me a Coffee, things like that to help support basically me and those expenses. You don't have to do it. It's not an obligation or anything like that, but if you do it, it is very helpful. It makes this much more sustainable for me. And I very, very much appreciate it. And that's it. So that's the end of the presentation. If you have any comments or questions, I will be checking out the Twitch chat in a second. If you're watching this later on YouTube, you can leave a comment and I'll follow up with you there. Otherwise, feel free to message me on Discord as well. If you want to send me a direct message, you can do that. My door's always open, so if you ever want to like message me about something, feel free. I'm a very approachable, nice person, so don't be don't be hesitant about it, I guess. Otherwise, thank you so much for being a part of the community. Thanks for joining. Thanks for supporting. Good luck on your adventures in the future, and I'll see you around at a future event. Thanks.